So Chaka was one of the employees from Liminal Space. So this is just kind of like an idea that he gave us when we came back to campus. Of course, so it was a solar sail, and basically it's an energy-powered, because like how rockets work, you're going to run out of fuel eventually, So one of their ideas was a solar sail. So basically, we already have one going around our fence working well, and basically it soaks up the sun's energy and it propels it. So, and it can go very, very fast. So basically, it's like a way to just go forever, just kind of like almost forever, without running out of fuel, and just so it could send packages or robots or whatever to Mars. So.
And here's a little video of the solar cell that Eva and her teammate made.
So the fan is supposed to be representing the sun, and then we have a little solar cell there that we're propelling through, which we had to use budgeting to get our materials, and we had to come up with everything on our own. And obviously you can tell the goal was to go from there to the end, and it was a competition between everybody. We had to get paired up with another student from somewhere where we didn't know. That they're zoomed into, and it's just, he was so intelligent, and the way he spoke about everything, and you could see the passion and everything. It was mind-blowing, really. So what they're working on here is the space in between two metal plates, the empty space, and how to make negative mass.
Like you can see the pool there, it's massive. It's like as big as a football field, but they actually have a replica of the International Space Station submerged in there, and that's how they train the astronauts to deal with like the pressure and give a feeling of weightlessness. So that was very, very neat, and we actually got a special tour, so we could see all the other people up around us going through the glass looking, but we were actually on the floor, and we were with the engineers and the physicists and the control people. So that was very neat. And then they were able to bring us up to a room and talk to us about how they got where they are. And I thought that was very important because we don't always get to talk to people who are in those situations. You can Google, what degree, and it may not lead you to where you want to go. So I thought just the exposure to this was very, very important for them, and for me to be able to get this information and bring it back, and now I can share it with my students. I can share it with other teachers so they can help guide kids if they want to go this path.
Also, the pool was 40 feet deep. If you think about that, it's like the size of a football field. And one cool thing about the pool is that there's a whole closed off section, and nobody knows what's inside of it. I mean, even the employees, because apparently it's only open to like special forces, like those people, and they can change the water to like
secret.
Arctic level water. I call it. It's really cool.
Picture of it up here? We don't.
So a little bit about Galveston Bay. They have the Galveston Bay Foundation. So one of their main ideas that they were working on that this person right here showing us is the oyster recycling program. So basically, there's a ton of seafood restaurants around Galveston Bay and along the shore. So that's a lot of oysters. So a lot of them, 10 years ago, they just threw them away. They got sent off to landfills or whatever or wherever. So their new idea was basically what you could do was they had bins set up for restaurants. This just started with one restaurant, and now they have 50 restaurants or. Yeah, it's grown a lot in just a couple of years. Put them in bins. They take the oysters, they clean them off for about 6 months with the sun, and then they put them in bags, which I think there are a couple photos here on the next couple slides. And it creates, and then they put them in the shores.
Okay. And then, of course, the whole reason behind us going was we had a project that we had been working on, and we created an app for the Galveston Bay Foundation to help raise awareness and really get youth more involved, because that's the next generation coming up. And they received mentoring from some of the professors and some of the doctoral candidates that were there. And we actually had one, the guy up here in the blue polo, he was actually a JASON Argonaut. And now he graduated with his engineering degree, and he works at a medical facility creating mini brains to replicate the human brain to test medicine on. So he was mentoring. Okay, so this was our last day there, and this was them presenting their project. And if we ever have any other time, if y'all ever want to know what it is, we're just gonna go through this really quick. If you want to know what their project is and all about it, we can always share that with you. But I mean, you get to see how many people, let me see, how many people they presented in front of. And it was like boards from the college, it was people from NASA, Limitless Space came. I mean, just so many people from all around the area came to listen to them. And just so y'all know, afterwards, some of the adults came and talked to me and said that their project was the most well put together and that they were the most well spoken out of all of the group. So I'm super proud of them for that.
Because I remember I called my mom then when we got back to the university. I called her and I was telling her about everything that happened, and then the second I hung up, it was like tears just like poured, because it was so amazing and like overwhelming how special the whole moment was, and how if these people didn't decide to put Jason here, we wouldn't have got to do that. All of those kids, like, we wouldn't have got to have all these experiences, and we wouldn't get to share that with all those people. I mean, ever since I was little, I always loved NASA and everything, and to think that I got to go there when I'm only 13, and that I get to share real pictures and show people, tell them, and get to teach them about things is really, really awesome.
And so that